Okay.
Look at that.
What do you see here?
Trend channel and also trend channel. That's a very nice little trend channel, by the way. So we come up here, look at the volume, we close off the highs, there's supply. Then the very next bar, look at that. We engulf, we come down. That is supply coming into the market. I would expect continuation from this. That's another kind of analog in a way, isn't it? Slightly different because we have all of this to the left. But, you know, we get that little bar pushing up and then we engulf. I would just expect downside continuation from the weekly time frame. There's nothing that tells me otherwise. Yeah, even over here, look, tried to attempt to come out, we engulf, continuation. See supply off the high, engulf. But this time, look at the demand to the volume. Very, very, very different to over here. So we might get somewhat more of a meaningful reaction from here.
Yeah, I'm thinking 5,000.
Yeah, that sounds nice. And so what does that mean? It means we print a cob, which means we're going to get volatility. Because
volatility, yeah. This is going to be a good time to trade.
Bars coming. So there should be some good trading coming up ahead. And if you go to the daily, all becomes revealed on the daily. We come up here, then this bar, what do we see? We see supply. We can see selling off the highs. We close down under the high of that bar. And by the way, it's important to have the channel up for me because we're in an overbought condition and we actually see supply coming in. Then the very next bar, look, we see supply come more off the highs. So then for me, how I analyze this, Roman, is what do we see coming from the supply line? We get an attempt to break. There's no real volume there. Very suspect bar, as you know. I'd label that suspect. Then the very two next bars, we see closing off the high, so there's supply coming in. Then the next bar, we see more supply coming in. And then we get a very, very narrow spread up bar. Does that fulfill you with confidence to be able to navigate through this supply line? Essentially, that is a no demand. Technically, it's a no demand bar. In an area where we see supply, spider sense is tingling. And then what should we get from a no demand bar? We want to see sellers being able to stretch their legs. And once again, we do. And then look how we come down. We come to the support line. There's an attempt to hold. What do you think of this attempt to hold? Poor. Very, very poor. Then this was yesterday's day where we see the interaction where sellers, you know, if we draw that level across there, that's where we saw sellers dominate and they start to take the reins, which produces the environment for this. And we are in the midst of that cob here on the daily time frame. All I just see here is weakness. I mean, just eyeball all these down bars here at the moment. This market is unfolding actually extremely, extremely nice. And I think it's supply dominant. I mean, look at this compared to all the reactions that we've seen in this uptrend from, when is this? March, from April. Significant. We're in the midst of a cob now. We analyze this top to this top. This is weaker. The initial takeoff here is weaker than it is over here. So this top is not as strong as this. So this is a weaker top and a better start than over here. And this reacted down here. So with a weaker top and a greater start, surely we should have a bigger wave. It's just logic. I would expect more selling in this wave down. We also have shortening of the thrust to the upside, don't we? We're not pushing up like we once did. If we think of the turning point and the initial takeoff is weaker, we have shortening of thrust to the upside. We're not really in the overbought position from the macro perspective of the trend channel, etc., etc. Let's have a more meaningful correction, which the market is very entitled to do, Roman, because if you think this is our trading range, there's no meaningful backup action, is there? We just break on out, have a little test here, break on up. Yeah, let's just have something a little bit more meaningful.
This is a major sign of strength. This is a major backup.
Yeah, let's come down to.
And we're still in the channel. I mean, like, I guess what we're saying is that we're gonna have something of this magnitude.
Yeah. Now, that's what the market is hinting to me, and we've already observed that within this rally, that we have the most meaningful supply coming out at that top already. Logically, I would expect a more meaningful reaction. And like I said, that all of this to me is much weaker than this over here. isn't it? And then we look at the duration as well. Look how long it took this market to actually get going. Here we're turning and we're coming down quicker than over here as well. Time is also an element here, which shows you that this selling over here is definitely more aggressive than it was over here. Down to here does make a lot of sense, doesn't it? But that's a 10%, over 10% move. There's a lot of areas we have to navigate before we get there. And I would observe how we get to those potential areas and how demand interacts at those levels. But I'll tell you one thing, Roman, there's going to be some good trading ahead.
Yes.
Either way.
Sure.